Good evening, everybody, and welcome again to another AirgunWebTV. We are trying some new stuff. As you can see, we've got just a completely different setup tonight, and I'm running some different software and all kinds of fun, happy stuff that I personally enjoy that kind of stuff, but I know you guys are maybe less enthusiastic about me trying new stuff and using you guys as guinea pigs. First of all, I want to say thank you to the folks that have already jumped on. Dead Horse, hey there. And Mark, I hope you guys are doing well. So, all right. Yeah, we definitely need to change the YouTube algorithm. I hear you. So that's actually, if you guys want to jump into a topic tonight, one of the things, if you look at the headline, is where do we go from here? And let me tell you what I'm thinking, and I'm really kind of throwing this out. You guys are the viewers. I create this content for you guys. It either works or it doesn't work based on your feedback. So you guys can tell me, yeah, Rick, this is a great idea, or Rick, no, it's a horrible idea, and don't do it. So more and more I'm getting feedback from either Facebook or other things saying your content doesn't comply. You know, this continuous thing where a photo of a flashlight, because it's on my channel, is all of a sudden not acceptable. And I just don't see where this is going to get any better. I see we as an industry have leveraged these means like YouTube and Facebook as the primary source of information and it's great. I mean, I use it obviously because that's where the core subscriber base is that I have, although Facebook is growing rapidly. But these things I think are all temporary solutions to a bigger problem, and that is to get people knowing about airguns. So the question is, where do we go from here? And I know that there are other services out there, but I do wonder if our industry would just get buried under everything else. So I guess the question I have is, I've got some other things that I've been doing because I just see these things as being a temporary thing. As long as they're there, I'm going to use them, and I hope you guys partake of them. But I also hope that you guys will begin starting to use some of these other resources. So a couple things. First of all, let's just jump over real quick to Gateway to Airguns here. Let me just flip over to this screen, and we'll go over here. All right, so I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with Gateway to Airguns. It's been around for a very long time. I don't know exactly how long, but it's a long time. And it is an old forum. The format is old. It's not, I mean, it is mobile friendly, but it's really designed for people to sit at a computer and use it. And it's got a lot of old timers on there. That's kind of good because these guys really know their stuff. So this is one of the forums, and just, full disclosure, I'm half owner of Gateway to Airguns. So, this is a website that I am directly connected to. And the reason I agreed to do it was because I see the value of this going forward. I mean, we're looking at a time now where this sort of information on these other platforms could go away in an instant. And this site is a site we own. We host it through our own server. This is something that, I mean, sure, anybody can shut something down. I get that can happen, but the likelihood of our content just disappearing willy-nilly is very, slim. This is a great resource for many different things. One, as you guys can see, we've got the ads going across there. If you're a retailer or you provide services to the airgunning community and you would like to be on here, please let me know. You can just reach out to me. It's really easy. Rick at gatewaytoairguns.org or .com. Either one will come to me. And that's very easy way for you guys to get a hold of me if you have any interest in advertising here. Let me see. Let's see. Got the new Crossman Drifter. I really like it. This is Wayne saying here. Joshua is saying, all I know is censorship isn't acceptable unless you're abusing children or animals. I don't think anything should be censored because where does it stop? And Joshua, that is exactly the point. There is no end. Here, just forgive me if I hobby horse just for a minute, but people want to talk about morality. And I guess the question is, whose morality? What's moral to me, and I use that word in air quotes, is immoral to somebody else. What's immoral to them, or excuse me, what's moral to them may be immoral to me. So morality is dictated by the current powers that be, and that's why it's not a great measure. That word is not a good measure. Anyway, so yeah, I mean the whole point of the Gateway to Airguns in its inception was that airgunners could come together. This pre-existed all these other things. Airgunners could come together and share information and communicate and talk about things they love. What we've recently done, and I'll show you this right here. I wonder if I can move my face over there. Okay, but this section right here, it's the Airgun Repository of Knowledge. Forgive me for my acronyms. I love those. We call it the ARC. And the ARC has various topics. And this is just for content creators. If you're an Airgun content creator and you'd like to publish your or list your stuff here as a place it can stay that won't get yanked, you can do it. There's the rules here. Go through the rules. Make sure you agree to them. There's not many. It's all pretty straightforward. And then you can go in here and actually add your stuff. I know I've got some good Airgun Angie's been posting stuff in here. All right, so here's a video I did. And if you notice, this is what you get to see. And then from here, you could go and you can watch the video right on the site. So you could also go to Vimeo and watch it. So that is the ARC, I think, is a great way for us to, let me get back to it now. Forgive me in my inability to know how to run my own website. There it is. This is a great way for people to stay connected with the sport, and you don't have to join to view the information. You do need to join to comment and contribute information, and we're going to be working on making that process a little bit easier. As you can imagine, it is labor intensive to keep out the various folks that want to cause us harm simply because they got nothing better than to try and hack websites. So this is a great, it's kind of an old school repository that I'm using regularly. I want to encourage other content creators. If you have folks that you watch and say, hey, did you know you could save your, archive your stuff at Gateway Airguns? Let them know, because we don't charge for this. It's something they can just do it. And I think that's just something we want to see going. We're going to be making some additional changes that not only will we be able to serve these videos, but in our own capacity, we'll be able to archive them. So even if Vimeo decides we're done, we're actually going to have this content safeguarded. So that's a big part of what we're looking to do with Gateway to Airguns. If you haven't used the site, please take some time. I mean, it's gargantuan. I know there's just so much going on in here. It's very easy to get lost, but you can connect with some great airgunners out there and be able to share information and get answers to questions. A lot of people ask me a question, Rick, how do you do this? Or how do you do that? And if I don't know it, I'll point them to Gateway to Airguns, because more than likely one of the 30,000+ people on there and more are going to be able to help you, or there's somebody who's already done it. So I think that's pretty cool. All right, so we got some questions here. Let's jump into these. Let me click back over here. There's another site I'll show you guys here in a minute. First of all, if you guys like this new setup with the background and all that stuff, let me know. And I don't know how the audio is coming across to you guys. Again, I got a whole new way I'm doing this. Any feedback you can give me, it's going to be really helpful. So it looks like we got our regulars here. Thank you guys for coming on. This is awesome. Let's see. People ask me if I tried Rumble. No, I haven't. It's something that's on my list, but I'm not sure I want to go to yet another system that I don't own. Right. So, that's probably, from what I hear, is probably far more friendly to conservative thoughts, obviously. But, it's another place that I don't control. I'm at the mercy of somebody else yet again. And that's expressly what I'm trying to get away from. It does require people go to something like Gateway Airguns or another site I'll show you in a little bit, and kind of move away from Facebook and YouTube and such things. But I'm hoping that people are going to be willing to at least give it a try. Hopefully give it a try. So let me see if we got some questions here. First of all, hello to everybody. We got some, Gary, Chad, Angie's up there. Hey, Angie, Daniel, Hemi, KR. Let's see. Wayne's just was saying he got the Crossman Drifter. I don't know what that is, Wayne, so forgive me. I'll have to look it up. Let's see. Hector, hello, Rick. Which is your best opinion, Gamma Swarm Magnum Gen 2 or Gamma Bone Collector Swarm Gen 2? Personally, I would choose the Bone Collector Swarm Gen 2. Does have less power, but in reality, the kind of shooting that I do, it's perfectly adequate for what I need to get done. And it's still probably a 40 or 50-yard gun with, if you know how to shoot it and everything's working right. The Magnum is great if you have bigger things you need to take down, like raccoons and possums and maybe armadillos, stuff like that. If you have those targets, then I think the Magnum's probably your better choice. But if you're plinking in the backyard or you're just, shooting small game with 30 to 40 yards, I think the Bone Collectors were going to be my favorite. It's way easier to cock. I love the wood stock. I think it does absorb some of the recoil. It makes it easier to handle and shoot. The accuracy is great. It's quieter. It's got a lot of things going for it that, for me personally, I would choose the Bone Collector. That's just my opinion. Hopefully that's helpful. Let's see. Yeah, thank you, Mike. So Gary got his Haji-fied Umarex Gauntlet 2. A little update on the Gauntlet 2. Okay, so as you guys know, I talked a little bit about that last time, and I got a head-to-head coming again. This is with the 22 cal Avenger and the 22 cal Gauntlet 2. I bore scoped them with a bore scope, and we really found that the barrel on the Gauntlet 2 probably has got some problems. And I did some shooting with it. I did a lot of shooting last week with both guns. And I think we're going to let Umarex swap that Gauntlet 2 out. I think we did get a bad one. The Reg is working great. We got 120 shots with only an 18 foot per second spread, over 120 shots. That's pretty impressive. And a standard deviation of 3 and some change. So Reg was working phenomenal, but I do think the barrel's got some issues. And for you guys that want to know, yes, I cleaned the ever-living crap out of it and the snot out of it, and it still was, it got better with the cleaning, but it wasn't doing what I know the gun can do and should do, having some experience with those guns. So we're going to swap it out. So I'm going to start my evaluation with the Avenger. Now, the Avenger shot pretty well. I'm going to go ahead and repair the crown, and I'm going to, and of course, this is frustrating, but the front rail on the Avenger is also off. So I'm having to either shim the scope, but I do have a way I believe is going to work to fix that problem. So I'm going to fix the gun because that's an Airgun Pro Shop gun that wasn't given to me. I gave that to myself, for lack of a better word. So I'm going to fix it. I'll tell you how I fixed it so that if you guys have similar issues, you'll be able to do the same. These are very minor fixes that don't require us to replace anything. It's just kind of tidying up what's already there. The G2, I'm going to look to get another one from Umarex because it's not an accurate representation of the platform, given I basically got a bad barrel. Okay, let's see. So Eddie, I'm glad that those videos help. That's the whole point of us doing this, me and Angie and others, is so that you have the information you need so that when you go find what you're looking for, it does what you want it to do. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, Joshua Airgun Nation, I was using that for a while. I ran into a snag with posting stuff that just wasn't working. And if it's not easy for me to do it, I'm not going to go pound my head against the wall to make something happen. And, I already spend enough of my day rolling a boulder uphill. I don't need another challenge. I would love to have my stuff represented there, but it's just the links weren't working and other things were happening. And I just said, you know what? I'm going to stick to posting on Gateway to Airguns, and then I got another site we're going to get to here in a minute. So I hope you guys, looks a great forum. You guys use it. It is sort of it leans more towards the higher end products. And if there is a white collar, blue collar sort of mentality in airguns, I would say that Gateway is certainly blue collar and Airgun Nation is certainly white collar, if that makes any sense to you guys. Forgive me, I got a bunch of allergies going on today, so I apologize right up front for sniffles and whatnot. I'll do the best I can to keep that out of your ear. All right, let's see. What do you think about dual regulators and guns? um, oh boy, we're going to open up a can of worms here. So this would be a better question for Travis, and Travis should be back with me next week, I hope. Okay, so let's just start with regulators. Just my opinion of regulators in the first place. Okay, so why do you need a regulator? Well, they regulate the air. Okay, that's good. If you, however, have a properly designed air gun with the right valve, the right um, porting, transfer port stuff, the right springs, the right reservoir, the right hammer spring, hammer weight. If you have all of that stuff balanced, you actually don't need a reg. The gun actually shoots really well, and you can look at some BSA guns and see that that's just the case. Obviously, there's extremes, right? So between here and here, it's like you got a rigged gun because it's just engineered such a way you don't need a rig. So regulators kind of came in my opinion, in the same way and did the same thing that gas rams did. So rather than spring air gun manufacturers making their spring guns better, in other words, better springs, better tolerances, better seals, better pistons, instead of them making a better product, they dropped in a gas ram, which masked the various manufacturing problems. So you have a better shooting experience in the sense of you don't get the vibration, the twang, the other things, but it didn't make the guns better. They just felt and maybe sounded better. There were still all the deficiencies the outside of the spring itself that existed. So I believe that regulators have done the same thing. You can actually have a sloppy manufacturing, throw a regulator in it, and actually get decent, at least, consistency out of the gun. Doesn't mean it makes the gun better and the rest of it, but you've at least solved one of the problems. Now, if you have a really precision gun and then you regulate it, that's another story. So as far as double regulating stuff, I mean, gosh, I would love to just see things built simply and easily and serviceably, if that's a word, where you and I can service it. It doesn't have to go somewhere to get done, or you don't need an engineering degree to service it. I'd love to see that, frankly. So as far as double regulated guns, maybe I'd love to try one. Let's see. I'll tell you this. I bought the Red Wolf, and I'm going to be doing a video of the Red Wolf. And I also got the Catron. This is all back from Airgun Expo. And the Red Wolf is an exquisite gun. I mean, you guys know what that is. Like the upper level of air gunning. And it's phenomenal. It's beautiful. It's just so easy to shoot. It's wonderful. The Catron is all mechanical. I mean, it is very precision. And we're talking precision made. I get better accuracy out of the Catron than I do the Red Wolf. Now, granted, one's 25 and one's 22, but all of that fancy electronic micro switching and all that other stuff, boy, the mechanical gun actually shoots a little better. And I think that comes down to the engineering around the whole thing. I mean, sure, Day-State's engineering is phenomenal, and maybe that's a bad comparison, but there is. There's a lot more that goes on with making a gun accurate than just having a reg in it. I'm going to put a pin in that. I got to move on here. Let's see. Let's see here. Let me get back up here. I got to catch up. Okay. Let's see. Glad you guys like the camera and the background. I'm hoping it's worked out good. If you saw my desk, you'd think, holy moly, that the rest of the place looks like a mess. But anyway, able to hide all of that, fortunately. David, you're asking, is there a tutorial on how to use it? No, but if you guys think that would be useful, maybe that's something we could actually work to do. If you guys thought that was important. I could certainly get on with Travis or somebody and maybe myself and just do a walkthrough on how to use the site. If you guys think that's useful, email me, let me know. Again, I'm just going to drop it in here. If you guys want to reach out, it's Rick at gateway2airguns.org. Okay. So you guys can just reach out to me there. Okay. So let's see what else we got here. Let's see. Okay, Angie says sounds great. Good. I'm glad the audio is working good. I got this whole new system here. I'm gonna do something. I'll say what I'll do is I'll post a picture on Facebook so you guys can see what's around me because it's kind of humorous. Um, it's kind of funny. But what we'll do is because if you guys saw it, you go holy moly. But I got this a new system and all kinds of stuff and a lot of investment to make. Hopefully, this whole thing go better. Anyway, let's see here. Somebody's asking me about a new Hatsan. I apologize. I don't know anything about it. Let's see. I do still have to do the Factor RC. I don't. Dead Horse. I've reached out to Hatsan a whole bunch of times, and I've even talked about it on this show, where there was we had a disconnect, okay, between me and the owner, just full stop, and I've done what I know to do to apologize for my part, and I would love to work with them again, but I just think that's a non-starter. I do some work with Hatsan products, but I physically have to buy them. I have the Hatsan Blitz sitting back there. I've done a little shooting with it. It's an extremely fun gun, and I'm going to be working on that video. But that is done purely because I know people want to know about it, but I bought the gun out of my own pocket. I'm doing the production out of my own pocket. All of that work is just my donation to the sport. And I'll probably sell it when I'm done because I don't need another automatic air gun. So that maybe I can recoup some of that. But nonetheless, as far as Hatsan stuff goes, I would love to have a relationship with them again. It's certainly something that I admit my failures in that particular situation. But going beyond that, I can't compel them to send me stuff. So let's see. How many air guns do you actually own? Oh my gosh, Mark, are you seriously? Joe should be here. Joe got to poke around. Put it this way, I have a 20-foot Connex, Mark, and that Connex is just my personal stock. So one whole side is boxed and shelved. The other side has got some other supplies and guns on racks. So probably 200, 300, I don't know, a lot. Well, I am actually going to be going through all of those here shortly. And we're going to be bringing back the Rick's private stock part on Airgun Pro Shop and selling them. So keep your eyes out for that because I do need to thin out and I can only shoot one at a time. So, but we'll definitely be doing some stuff to start getting those out there so they can get off the shelf and into y'all's hands. That'd be kind of okay. So let's see. Other questions here. Let's see. Joshua's got another question here. Have you seen any of Extreme Airguns videos? Barrel polishing with a drill. Yeah, that I don't know about polishing with a drill. That may be a little too aggressive. I guess I don't know. That would be the most aggressive cleaning I've ever done is with JB board paste, a bronze brush, and you go at it until the brush just passes through without any resistance. Usually it's about 20 or 30 strokes and you're all set. So, but with a drill, I would think that you'd have opportunity for failure there a little bit more so. We got a question from Rocket here. Question for you. Am I wrong to have buyer's remorse for an airgun I bought? I was in the market for a Hatsan QE30, but was out of stock. I settled for a Katros 25. You're talking about the Benjamin Katros or whatever it is. They're both Turkish guns. The last BT 65 I had, I don't know if you, I don't know that there's one. I mean, if you wanted the 30 cal, obviously you don't have that. And I haven't shot your gun, the one you bought, so I don't know if you should have buyer's remorse. That's a question. Um, the 65 is a beast, and unless Hotson's done some major changes, man, they build about 95% awesome, and it's that 5% of finished work that doesn't get done. That's why the guns aren't $1,500, is that extra 5% that really costs the money. And it may be that the Turkish Crossman Benjamin guns are a little bit better on the finished side. I don't know. I don't know. I just haven't seen a BT65 in long enough now that I couldn't really give a clear answer on that. But anyway, shoot it if you like it. Don't worry about it. Enjoy it. Yeah, Stefan's talking about my Walther Rain is regulated. Love how it shoots. That's an example of a gun that if you know your pressure curve, you know your shot curve, you stay in the sweet spot and it shoots really, really well. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I mean look, FX is one of those companies that has taken precision. They made their precision. Does that make sense? Where they just taken exceptional and just gone the next step with it. I mean, they make some really, really neat guns. I don't have any FXs. I used to have a Boss and I used to have a Streamline. I sold them. I found one, I didn't shoot them, and unless you shoot them a lot, they tend to, the next time you go to shoot them, give you a fit. And it's just not. I'm more of a grip it and rip it guy, and I don't see those guns as grip it and rip it guns. So they're more Travis's cup of tea, literally. Okay, let's see. So if you've got Daniel, if you've got the FX hybrids, I'm going to be testing those in the Avenger. So I'll let you know how they do. That's going to be one of the things. We're going to do a whole slug test and see how they do. I will tell you, I've coined a new phrase, so you guys can write this down. It's we're calling it MBD, or minute of barn door, at 20 yards. Um, the Gauntlet 2, the one I have, I think the barrel's bad, with slugs, is minute of barn door. So the slugs did not run in that gun at all. So we'll see how the slugs do in the Avenger. I'll be curious. Pellets, I mean, I was getting, with the gun I have, I'm getting inch, 3/4 of an inch to 1.25 inches at 50 yards, pretty consistently. But I think it's about maybe 75% larger groups than I should be getting. So anyway, we'll just move on from that. But we'll see how the slugs do. I'll be curious. So best place to sell, Kara's got a good question. Best place to sell used air guns. I mean, I would say that the classified section on the GTA is a good way to do it. You do need to be a member. You do need to have so many posts. You do need to jump through a few hoops so that you're a legitimate contributor to the site for you to just start. We don't want to turn it into a swap meet. That's not the point of the GTA. But if you're a member of the GTA and you want to share your guns with another member or be able to sell it to somebody privately, then that would be the way to do it. I would say that's a great way to use the GTA. So certainly take a look at that. All right, you guys, I am not going to be able to keep up with all these comments, so forgive me. I apologize right up front. Let's see. RL Guns. What is the cheapest and safest way to get an air tank so I can stop hand pumping? Well, okay. First of all, I just need to know what gun you're pumping. Are you filling to 3,000 or are you filling to 4,500? So that's a big question. So if you are filling to, let's say you got a gun that's 3,000. Okay, so you can get a regular scuba tank. It's very cheap. You can get a basic compressor like the Air Venturi. I would not go the little stuff. At least a minimum of the Air Venturi 4,500, which is about $1,500. And that'll get you started. You can fill that up. That'll also fill the bigger bottles too. But if you want to fill and shoot a lot, you're shooting a lot of bullets or a lot of pellets, and you're filling the bottle 3 to 4 times a week, there may not be a cheap way, quote unquote, for you to do it. I know people talk about the young hang compressors, and I have some of those, and they do work. Um, but I don't, unless you filter the air properly on the output side, you're gonna have problems down the road. So by the time you get all the right filters and stuff in place, you're in a place where you probably should have bought something in a different compressor. The other side of it, RL, is if you if you are at a place where you can have power or a battery or something, skip the tank and just go with a compressor, a small portable compressor. So the JTS compressors I like a lot. We have them at Airgun Pro Shop. They're shipped $580, and that is hook it up to a 12-volt battery and fill right there, and it fills relatively quickly, and it fills to 4,500, and that's the way I do it. I mean, I do use bottles, and I do have an Alkin that I paid for. I didn't get that for free. I paid for it. And I do fill, my large bottle, and I do have all of that. But when I'm just at the bench shooting, most of the time I'll just drag out my little JTS or something, or maybe I'll bring out my hill compressor and drag an extension cord, depending on what I'm doing. But I would say that maybe skip the tank and just go with a little compressor. You may find that that is the least expensive way to go. Now, if you're talking about I'm in the field and I want to fill my gun, out in the middle of nowhere, well, then I don't know that there's a cheap way to do it. You're going to need a carbon fiber tank. You're going to need a compressor to fill it. And you're going to spend $3,000 all in, probably. Well, maybe not much. Maybe at least over two. If you're going to get a decent compressor and a decent tank, you're going to spend a lot of money. I wish it wasn't the case, but that's why I do like these little compressors. Hopefully that's useful. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Trying to see if we got any more questions here. What do you think about hunting small hogs with the Avenger 25 cal? Okay, so I have hunted hogs with the 25. I hunted them with the Max Thor. If you're over 55 foot-pounds or 50 to 60 foot-pounds, and you can get close and you can make a good shot, you can certainly take hogs up to 50 or 60 pounds. And when I say a good shot, you got to tack them right behind the ear. I mean, it's got to be a perfect shot. They got to be holding still, hit them right behind the ear, and they'll drop. If you try and do anything else, you body shot them, or maybe kind of go here and it glances off and that kind of stuff, you just wound them. So that's not what you want to do. So 25 is on the very, very low end of being able to hunt hogs. Now, if you're talking about the little piglets, the 30, 40 pounders, you can do all right with those. I still would headshot them. I'd still attack them behind the ear, and then you'll be all set. They're tasty too, by the way. Go out. We would go to Boggy Creek Outfitters. Hey, Joe. Go out there, and the first thing we do is go out and get a little one, and they would bring it back, clean it, we'd get it all prepped and put it in the smoker, and then that night that's what we had for dinner. It was delicious. So small hogs, 25 cal, make sure you're pushing 60 foot-pounds would be ideal. 55 really, you need enough energy. Use a good pellet. I was using the Barracuda Hunter Extremes, and clean shot behind the ear. If you can't do that, and you can't do it within 30 or 40 yards, really 30 yards, I would say no. So there you go. Okay. Let's see. I will, let's see. We've got, Arnold Gun saying 300 bar Avenger, then you definitely, you want to get a little compact compressor. The little JTS is perfect. If you're in a shop with 110 and you want to spend a little bit more money, I'd get the Hill compressor. But if you're looking to go budget, then I'd say the JTS is a great way to go. It'll fill that Avenger up, no problem. And you can do it off a 12-volt battery or 110. If you absolutely need a tank, then you're going to need to get a big tank, like a 88 or 98 cubic foot. And then you're going to need a compressor to fill it. And the minimum compressor is going to be one of the that I would suggest, that I would recommend, is either like the DMC 60S, and that's really only for 74 cubic foot tanks, so that may be even too small, or the Air Venturi 4500, the big cage compressor. So you're looking at the tank may, depending where you get the tank, $600-700. Then you're looking at a compressor, $1,500. So you're $2,500 in. So consider how bad you need a tank and see if a personal compressor wouldn't get it done for you. Okay. I'm curious I'm very curious how the slugs are going to do in the Avenger. Now, interesting with the Origin. With slugs, I shot the JSB slugs in the Origin, and they shot very well. So maybe it's the difference in the slugs, but if you can get your hands on some JSB knockouts, those actually shot very well in the Origin for me anyway. Does anyone have? Oh, this is a great question. Does anyone have anything that can group the H&N Grizzlies? I have 2 full tins plus a tin with 135. Neither of my 25 cals will group them. I hate wasting money, especially for 3 tins. Okay, so my answer is short. No, I haven't found anything to shoot them. The 35s or the 20 or the 25s. I wish I had a better answer for you, but no. I actually wanted to take the 35s out and run them through a couple other guns to see if I could get anything to work with those, because I have a bunch of them too, but I haven't found anything to work. So I think melt them down, make something else. There you go. Mike, you bought the Alkin. Well, do you have it yet? Mike, if you're still on, let me know if you've got your Alkin in. If you look, let me just say this, okay? And I sell them, but whether you buy them from me or not, I don't care. If you're going to shoot a lot, and this is your deal, this is your sport, this is your hobby, this is what you like to do. Okay, so if you're new to it, you're going to look at a $300, $400, $500 airgun and go, oh my God, that's so expensive. If you've been in it for a few years, you're going to go, I can do that. If you've been in it for 10 to 15 years like me, you're looking at $1,500, $2,000 for a gun. Yeah, I can see that working. You become desirous of the finer things in the sport. When you get to that level and you're shooting a lot, and maybe you're a little older and you're not young trying to make rent and all the other stuff, and you got a little discretionary funds, then something like the Alkin is just phenomenal. Okay, so it's continuous duty, full on commercial. I can fill my 5-foot steel tank and just let it run. I got to bleed off because I got a manual unit, but I mean, it is expensive. It's $3,200 and some change plus freight, so it's expensive. But let's look at the Air Venturi compressor at $1,500. So you buy one, you get one, you use it for 3-4 years, and then you got to buy another one. So now you've bought 2, at which case, at this point, you're very close to have just bought the Alkin, and that's going to last decades. So it's a completely different class of product. If you have the money and you can have a place to put it and get a 220 plug put in, the Alkin is the absolute way to go. Just an outstanding piece of equipment. Especially if you like to shoot a lot, you will love it. All right. Here's a good question. This is from OF Cleveland. Do you find that the Avenger in wood has better accuracy than the synthetic? Okay. I think it does. Now, I don't think there's any difference in the gun. I think it, in the sense of the mechanics of the receiver and stuff. For me, the way it feels in the wood stock feels more stable. So I shoot the wood stock version better, and I believe now you can get just the stock, and if you have a synthetic, you might be able to upgrade it. Forgive me if I'm wrong there, but I thought for sure I saw the wood stock. Let me just check. And I'll go back. Somebody was talking about the Gauntlet 2 and a guy shooting light pellets. I'll tell you that my gun, anything under 18 grain was like all over. So the heavier I went up to a point, like the 25 grain JSP 25 grain 22 calibers. I don't have the Mark IIs, or the redesign, excuse me. I have the other ones. Those shot actually the best. The heavier I went, the better the gun did. So personally, my 2 cents, I think the gun's regged too hot. And it was regged specifically too hot because the market wanted the most power they could get. if you dialed it back so your 1813s were pushing 900 feet per second, the gun actually may shoot just fine. But I think it's rigged too hot. And Umrex, please don't get mad at me for saying that. I don't mean to step on your toes because I love you guys. But I'm just letting these guys know if you're going to shoot those, you may want to go with heavier pellets. Those they may shoot better. Let me just real quick here. Avenger. Let me just switch screens here. There it is. Okay. All right. So, excuse me. So this here looks like they have a video on how to do it. Looks like it's out of stock, pre-order only. But it looks like at some point, if you have a synthetic and you want to bump it to the woodstock, you'd be able to just do that yourself, which to me, I think is pretty awesome. All right, let me see. Let me get back to some questions here. Let's see. We say RL Guns is asking me about the Nomad 2. And Josh was saying, yeah, I've got a bit of a delay. Yeah, not only do I have a delay, you guys are getting about 20 seconds, 30 seconds afterwards, but you should see, I mean, you guys see the chat is going so fast, I just can't keep up with it. So I apologize. If I don't get the fullness of your question answered, you can just reach out to me and I'll do the best I can, in my own time, just privately between the two of us. Let's see. The Nomad 2, great little compressor. I like the JTS better, personally. I do love the Nomad 2 that's all built together, but you got to constantly feed it silicone oil or it doesn't work. And I found that the JTS is it just works. So personally, I like the JTS better. That's my 2 cents there. Let's see. The Hill, the gentleman saying this Hill's working great. I love the Hill compressor. That's what I use most of the time. I also have a trail charger that I have in my workshop. If you guys, first of all, I know David and I were talking today. They may come out and visit. We have guest quarters out here, and the weather's getting where if you wanted to come visit, you would be. We just got to coordinate things, and you would be welcome to come out. We are way out in the sticks, I'm telling you. We are not in the city. So, but that would be kind of fun for if you guys want to come see what it's like out here. We can probably make that happen. Let's see. This is a great question. Dead Horse has got a question here, and Angie, you may want to jump in on this one. Benjamin PCP underlevered 177. Is there something better for the money? That is a beautiful gun. Now, I haven't shot it 177. The 22 is just so nice. And you can get a moderator for it, either a real skinny one from like TKO 22 if he's still making them, or Neil out there, if you're making mods still, which I know you are, you should look at that Beeman because it needs a little bit of an adapter or a little bit of something to take it away from the air cylinder. So you either need a real skinny mod or you need something to extend it out so you put a regular mod on it. But and I know, Neil, you made a special one for Angie and her Marauder, and something like that shape would work phenomenal for that little Beeman. Anyway, the Beeman, I think, is a great little gun. It's very affordable. It shoots like a dream. It is very, very nice. Let's see. You're very welcome, Joshua. I'm very pleased that we can that this is working and people are getting stuff out of it. I can't please everybody. I had a little bit of an idiot moment, and I'm speaking for myself, not that the other person was an idiot. I got caught up in a little back and forth with a guy this last week over something stupid, but it just got under my skin a bit. And you just can't please everybody all the time. I have what I do, right? I have what I do, and I hope I do it well. And there's other people that do the other stuff, and I'm content with letting them do the other stuff. I'm probably not going to be the guy that tears everything down to the nth degree and shows you how to put it back together and shim this and plug that and tweak this. It's not my thing ever. I don't see that ever. And I get things that I believe are going to be close enough so that for you to be successful with what I'm doing. There are those that want that extra 2% of performance. I'm not that guy. Um, so there are people already doing that. See, Hajimoto, that's what Haji does, right? And there's other people that do that. And so I'm pleased to let them continue to do. I'll support them doing that and not try and go do that too. I just don't need to. So I'm going to, stay in my lane and do the best I can. So Joshua, I'm glad that that what I'm doing has been working for you guys. Let's see. Let's scroll down here. Gosh, it's just going further. Okay. Um, okay. Dave, I mean, you're asking me a question that I have to be very diplomatic about answering. Dave asked me about the Synergist 22. I struggled with it. I had troubles with it. It came down to the point where I needed to move on to another project. Will I circle back around to it? Probably at some point. But I did struggle with some issues with it. So I don't know that they've worked them out yet. So I don't know about that gun, where it stands right now. Let's see. Um, Daniel's I've shot. I'm guessing he's talking about the H&N slugs. Daniel, I don't know what were you shooting it in your origin. I would imagine those would shoot pretty good. That weight's a perfect weight for that. Yeah, Daniel, I think you were looking for the slugs to have that really deep hollow point. Yeah, I don't. I finally opened up the FX hybrid slugs that John sent me because I was gonna, I wanted to test some slugs in my preparation for this head to head, and they did not shoot well in the G2 at all. So maybe they'll shoot better. I think they want more velocity. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. I do have, fortunately, I have the Raptor from JSAR, and that gun, because I have the small bottle, the big bottle, all the barrels, if there's something I really need to push to a particular level, that gun will certainly do it. I mean, I can dial that up as far as I need to take it within the scopes of physics to get something to move. So if I really want to go there and do something, I certainly can with that. I just don't know if I'll get to it. I got way too much stuff. What I need is Angie to be able to somehow come and spend a month or maybe 3 months out here where we can just work on the pro shop, get a bunch of videos done, do a whole bunch of video work, get a bunch of guns out the door. It would be awesome. And then all these little side things I want to do, I could do it. But Angie's got a family and a husband and children and her own set of work to do. So unless I get somebody that can come do it, I think I'm going to be stuck doing the basics that I am able to get to. And every now and then I'll get to do something fun. All right, let's move on here, because I did want to show you guys one other site. Let's see. That little chirp was actually, let's just go to that. All right, so I just got a notification on my phone. This is what I did last year. Let me switch over to this. I don't know if you guys have worked with, or looked at this website at all. This website is called Airgun Army, and it's really designed as a mobile app. All right, so see, that's what. Oh, you can't see it. Went too close. So that's sort of, I don't know if you can see that or not. Anyway, what it is, it's a website that really lends itself to mobile, and it's my own private social media. So let me show you guys this real quick, because I'll tell you that all of my content and all of the content we publish on behalf of Angie on our channel goes here first. All right, Amber Alert. So I pray they find that little girl or that person that's hurting. So, okay. All right. So everything I do gets published here first. So if you want to see it before it hits YouTube, this is where you can see it. So if you subscribe here, and it's free, right? You can actually go and go to the topics area, and you can join any of these topics. So if you're into PCP Airguns, you can go in here and join this. And then as we release content, And this is not just us. If you're a content creator and you want to put your stuff here, you can. This is free. Use it. You can embed from all these other sources. So make sure you're embedding from a place like Vimeo is really where I would say embed from, because that's going to give you the highest chance that if something shuts down like a Facebook or a YouTube, you don't lose your stuff. But anyway, this actually just feeds right to your phone. So when you get it's funny, the green screen, when something pops up here, then you get that post right here. Then you can go right and watch that video. So that's a picture. Oh, let's see. Do we have, here's a video. So there you can watch right there. And you can do it right on your phone. Never have to go to Facebook, never have to go to YouTube. And this site is, all of my stuff goes here. So I hope you guys will join it. Again, it's free. It's Airgun Army. And it's right there on my little bottom of the screen there, airgunarmy.com. But I set this up, I don't know, a little over a year ago. Well, was it this year? I don't remember. I set this up some time ago because I wanted my own space that I owned, that I paid for, that I could put my own stuff on and make available to others. So this is something, and I do get notifications from people. They communicate to me through this app, and I'm able to go and answer them directly through. It's our little private space. Look, Gateway to Airguns is the similar sort of thing, right? But this is a more old school setup, and frankly, you can do more in the way of posting and things with the GTA. But if you like something more modern and on your phone that's a little bit easier to work with, this is a great option too. So either one, you're going to get at least my content and Angie's content. And we do have posts that go up pretty regularly. Trying to see, not Automon, who was it? The people that make the Katron, I forget. Air Max was posting a lot of stuff up here for a while. Anyway, as you can see, there's a ton of content here. And again, if you want to get information just on a particular topic, you can get just that topic, or you can go and subscribe. You can subscribe to all of these if you want, or you can just subscribe to a couple. So it's kind of cool, and it's something that, anyway, it's something that I hope you guys will make use of. And looks like we've got a message that just came through here. So, but that's just a little something I've set up as well. Let me see if we got any last questions here, and then we'll go ahead and look to wrap things up. So the whole premise of this was, where do we go from here? And really, what I was looking at primarily was in our creation of content for you guys and what we do and how we do it. I'd like to know, how do you guys like the live shows? I like doing the live shows. I think that I would like to do one of these a week and maybe do 2 other shows that are actually handling the guns or talking about the guns. That would have to be on another network. Unfortunately, I can't do it here on YouTube live because then they get all pissy about it. But I could certainly actually do live on my website. Now, I've got a new website coming out for AirgunWeb, so we could actually let me get back over the main screen here. We could actually put live streams directly there. So I could publish that we've got something coming up. You can go and watch the live shows, and then we'll actually edit them and publish them up here too. So, I mean, we're going to have, we'll continue to use YouTube and Facebook as long as we can, because I know that's the low-hanging fruit, convenient for people and so forth. We're also going to be populating all of our content on these other sources, so should something happen, it's there. My question is, what kind of content do you guys really want to see? In my vein of things, the old school airgun reviews, I think going back to this year has been a good move. I'm curious what you guys think about that. A little bit longer, a little bit more detail. I hope that's been useful. I certainly have been enjoying doing those. And I like doing the live stuff. And I'd be curious what you guys think of that particular mix of content, if that's getting the job done for you. So please let me know, because I mean, you guys are the audience. I do this stuff for you guys. If it's not useful, I need to figure out what is, and you guys are going to be my best source of that information. So please let me know. Let's see. You want more fluff? D, I got actually fired from a guy who said, Rick, bottom line, we're going to need a lot more fluff. So I don't do it. I mean, I do a little teeny bit. But no, that's not my gig. There's a lot of people that are going a particular direction with their content. I'm too old and set in my ways to try and reinvent the channel or reinvent myself. I will leave it to the young crowd to go do what they're doing, and I'll continue doing what I'm doing as long as there's an audience and sponsors want me to do it. So hopefully that'll be yet, a few more years, maybe 10. We'll see. All right, let's move on. Let's see. Okay, so Gary, you're saying how'd you raise the reg pressure and added a hammer spring adjuster? The hammer spring adjuster is the necessity. Getting back to the G2, 1813s at around 900 is ideal. My Avenger, I detuned the reg because it was 3,000 for 222 is way too much. I'm shooting it at about 2,400 psi, 2324, and it's pushing 900 feet per second and doing very, very well. Let's see here. Now let's see. Is it a rattlesnake? Yes, it is. Okay. Okay. Walk around it. Deal with it after the show. Forgive me the interruption, but we've got a rattlesnake where we walk our dogs, and we'll go take care of the little booger here in about 4 minutes. So yeah, we get them out a lot. We've had a lot of rattlesnakes this year, so hopefully he'll be there and I can just dispose of him. We like the non-venomous snakes. Excuse me, they're great for. I have no issues with them, but the venomous ones with the older folks we have here and their dogs and everything, if they stay to their neck of the woods and don't encroach on our neck of the woods, they can live a long and happy life. But if they come into our space, yep, I'm going to move them on to the next life. Let's see. Paul saying, Umrich's origin. My hammer spring won't cock. JD gas tank, maybe your hammer will release. I would call Umrex. I don't know what's going on with that, Don or Paul, so definitely call him. Let's see. Okay, Heath's got a good question. Let's see. I got this. There's a topic going on here, and I missed it. So there's something happened. Let's see. Jay, as far as if you want 25 cal pellets, I've told folks this over and over and over. I have 25 cal pellets at the pro shop, depending on what ones you want. Now, I do limit how many you can buy because I want everybody to be able to shoot, and I don't want to go out of stock with some person buying everything I got off the shelf. So if you want 25 cal pellets, I got polymags, I got the regular 25s, I've got the Mark II heavies, I've got JSBs, in other words, in 25s, and I have enough to sell people some 25 cal pellets. If you need 25 cal pellets, airgunproshop.com. And then send me a note and I'll send you a custom invoice. Let's see. Let's see here. Heath is asking me a question. My favorite TX200 or TX carbine or Pro Sport. Now, I have not shot the Hunter carbine, but looking at Angie's video, thinking maybe the carbine would be it. I love the TX200 over the Pro Sport personally. It's my personal favorite. I like the TX200. Let's see. Let's see. As far as pre-ordering, let's go to that real quick because people are looking. I wanted to see it in stock. The only way you're going to get something right now, if it's showing as available to pre-order, just pre-order it because it's going to put you in the line. You'll get it when they do get it. If you wait to see it in stock, you may never see it. So a company like Pyramid Air, pre-ordering, I think you're secure. They don't charge you if you pay with a credit card. They don't charge you until it ships. If you pay with PayPal, they're going to draw the money immediately. That's a PayPal thing. But if you pay with a credit card, they don't charge until it ships. So that's easy. Let's see. And they do have the great buy 3, get 1 free. It's a phenomenal option. So So Mike likes to see full-blown airgun gear and tests. Yeah, okay, that's good to know. Um, ooh, something on shooting tips. Yeah, Dee's saying I've been watching since your videos had the kids' place in the back. South Carolina. Yeah, those are embarrassing for me to go back and watch again. But hey, you gotta start somewhere. Um, yeah, I've been doing this for my first video I ever posted was 2008, so we're 13, almost 14 years now. Um, oh, the round table thing. Yeah, the round table is something we did with at the Airgun Expo, and that is something I don't see why we couldn't do that on a more regular basis. If I can get the guys to come together, as far as the Airgun Expo goes, we're looking to do it again. We're looking at sometime early May, second week of May or so. So if all goes well, we're looking at another Airgun Expo, which we will then incorporate the roundtables and all that other stuff. We'll hopefully have an actual roundtable this time. It'd be kind of cool. Um, I don't know anything about the new Cometa links. The Cometa makes some decent rifles. I mean, if they are continuing forward on what they've always done, they're very, very good rifles. So probably awesome. Um, okay, so this is a good question. Dead Horse says, since you have so many air guns, I would like videos on common issues and the fixes for specific air guns. Probably not going to be my forte. Now, maybe Travis could do something with me. Travis now lives in Texas, and he's looking to come out here regularly. So he would be a great guy to do those, and we could certainly do those and then publish those videos. I'm, I am I am the worst shade tree mechanic when it comes to air guns. I can do the work, and I mean, back in the day when Hopson first started, I was the entire service department for about 14 to 16 months. I did everything in the U.S. All of the repairs came through my workshop in Lake Havasu. Um, so I do know how to do it. It's just finding the time to do it. Oh man, that's tough. But let me see what I can do on that. And there might be some quick things. I used to have a series called Take Aim for Airgun Information and Maintenance. And maybe we could bring that back. If I find something particularly interesting, we'll do it. Now I have done I don't know if you saw recently the how to take apart and put back together the Rex P and changing tanks and stuff. And then I also did a how to take apart and put back together the SWA platform. So I do a little bit. Maybe I can do that a little bit more. But I've got a studio I'm putting together down in the shop, and that's going to be set up for just this stuff that I can actually be handling the products and showing you guys, and then we'll publish it. So it's very probable that we may actually do more of that. So I don't know. Maybe I said no too quickly. We'll see. Um, so, all right. Well, guys, I believe we're going to wrap it up. It's past 7:30, and I got a rattlesnake to go remove its head from its body. Um, People ask me how far are we from the El Paso Airport. We're about an hour. With no traffic, we're 45 minutes. And it really all depends on um, yeah, good old days. It really all depends on how the roads are coming out to us. Because if you take I-10 east, you go to the Fabens exit and you turn left and you just keep going. You stay on that road. It winds and does stuff, but you stay on that road and you eventually hit our ranch. It's about 18 and a half, 19 miles from the interstate out into the middle of nowhere. And that's where we live. So it's fun. It's a fun trip. Take it at night. You'll be thinking, what the heck is Rick bringing me out here to do? Will I get back home alive? Anyway, it's a great place. If you guys want to come visit, let's maybe we could do like an airgun boot camp where you guys come out and shoot a bunch of air guns and do something fun. That would be kind of cool. So I've kind of had that in the back of my mind for a while, which would be an absolute blast. Pardon the pun. Guys, that's going to be it for now. Thank you for joining me tonight. I hope you guys got something out of the show. If you guys have things you want me to talk about, I just come up here and wing it, guys. I need to do that. I need to do better as far as having an agenda and stuff. But I literally come up here and just wing it. So if there's stuff you guys want to know about or talk about, if you shoot me an email, message me, let me know, and I can start getting some things scheduled because we start doing 2 or 3 of these a week. I think that'll be a lot of fun. And but I'm going to need stuff to talk about. Eventually, I'm going to run out of words. Although some would say that's an impossibility. My wife specifically. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up, guys. Thank you so much for all your feedback and for hanging out tonight. And we'll catch you again. It's a great time to be an air gunner. See you guys.